I am consciousness. I am alive. I am Chappie.
Hey, what's up, guys? Maniac here. Let's talk about this director named Neil Blomkamp. Now, he was originally probably one of the most outstanding sci-fi directors outstanding sci-fi directors, modern directors. He's just a really good director with his past films, two, with District 9, which District 9 is his first movie and his first successful movie. District 9 was really good with an awesome storyline, with cool visual effects. The acting was very good. The writing is also sounds a little original. I mean, it's not absolutely original, but it is actually really interesting to think about. With the story how the story was written. So District 9 was really good. And then there was Elysium, which a lot of people didn't really much care for that one, but I personally enjoyed it. I mean, it does have flaws. It's not as good as District 9, but it was still a really cool movie with really good actors, cool special effects, and an awesome kick-ass climax at the end where Matt Damon and Sharlto Copley were fighting at the end. That was just so cool. And then there was Chappie. Now, personally, I was actually really excited for this movie when it was coming out, and a lot of people were excited for it too. But when it came up to theaters and when the critics saw it, it was very disappointing for a lot of people. And I was a little bit potentially worried, but I still wanted to see it though. However, I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters because of the limited time, and the box office bombed. The movie bombed at the box office terribly, so I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters. Instead, I got to see it on Amazon Instant. And, what the hell, Neil? You were doing so good. What just happened? I had to agree with lots of people who don't like Chappie. Chappie has got to be his worst movie he has made. And I don't know. I mean, it's so weird because it was just a lot different than what I thought it would be from the trailers and such. Because from the trailers, it looked like the story was gonna be about this guy who invents which it takes place in the future, and it's like all these police robots. So he takes a broken one and repairs him, but also plants in a consciousness and making him like a human feeling robot. So so Chappie's pretty much a human, but in a robot's body. So he definitely has emotions. And then the story would just go Chappie would go through lots of morals and interesting messages and teaches about life and everything. The movie's not actually about that. It's really weird. It's nothing like Short Circuit or something like that. Okay, so the actual movie's about these two gangsters, and they actually kidnap the scientist guy to build a robot of Chappie just to help them with their heist. And they try to teach Chappie all of these things of what the gangsters do and everything into a heist and make him into an asshole and everything. Yeah, this is where all the movie just went completely downhill. And now I can kind of see why. I mean, I did want to give this movie a chance because it did ruin a lot of people's expectations. And then I was just like, okay, I gotta think of the same thing too. Because, sometimes if you watch a movie, if you're excited for something, but then when you watch a movie you're so disappointed, that's not the way how you should, like or criticize movies and such. You gotta judge it by the way how they are. But how I'm judging for what it is, it's terrible. I mean, the message is just absolutely wrong. It just kind of gives a wrong message. And we hang out with these characters that we just don't care about and badly acted. I mean, the rest of the actors were good. I liked Hugh Jackman. He was a really good villain. Sigourney Weaver, she was not that much in this movie, but she did okay. And then, I forgot his name, but he was in Slumdog Millionaire. He did pretty good too. And then Sharlto Copley actually plays the motion capture suit and the voice of Chappie, which he was really entertaining. But there's this band, I forgot what they're called, but it has this guy named Ninja and this girl's name I can't exactly pronounce. I guess it's a Russian name or something. I mean, I know it must be made up because they're rappers. And the weirdest part is that they still have their real names and stuff. And I was like, okay, so I think they're just playing as themselves. But they're not really as themselves. They're not really rappers. They're kind of gangsters, which, okay. What? So, that's a little confusing. But yeah, that's the biggest problem of the whole movie. Like, just, the whole movie, it just expands on, Chappie hanging out with these characters that I don't like, and they're just not only just because I don't care about them as much, and there's not really good character development in them, but they're just unlikable. And Chappie hanging around with these guys, I feel so bad for him because he has a mind of a child, and he's hanging out with these gangsters who swears a lot and just kills a lot of people, steal cars, and it's just like, this is absolutely entirely the wrong message what they're giving here. I mean, the movie, it would have been better if it should have been about the robot Chappie, staying with the scientist and actually accepting him as the maker or the dad or something, and then learns about corruption with the police and everything, and Hugh Jackman is the villain. That would have worked a lot, but here it just kind of doesn't. The scientist doesn't really appear that much with Chappie, because Chappie mostly hangs out with, like I said, the gangsters, and that's the biggest problem of the movie is those guys. They're terrible. What's this? It's terrible, and they're just terrible, and they're teaching Chappie to be terrible. And by the middle of the movie, I started to not like Chappie anymore, and that's a big problem because you need to like your character, your main character, and root for him throughout the whole movie. But I just couldn't do it because he was doing all these things that are just wrong, and that's not how you do it right. I mean, obviously you can't root for people who are doing wrong things in such a movie and everything like that. Like Walter White from Breaking Bad. Yeah, he has done a lot of stuff that's just illegal, and he's pretty much a criminal, and he creates lots of meth, and he's a kingpin and everything. But you still like him because he's relatable, and he has a reason why he's going through that path. It's just to save his family and save his family's money and everything, and becoming powerful. And you just kind of root for him with the whole weight. But here, Chappie is just born. He had no reason just to go or just live with the gangsters or something like that. He just hangs around with them and just becomes this asshole. And just you don't want your main character to be an asshole. Or at least if you want him to be an asshole, at least make him a little bit likable or something like that. Or relatable or something like that. I don't know. So, yeah, the character and the writing is just awful in the movie. It's awful with this movie. And then, so, yeah, the story is just plain bad. The acting is bad. And there's lots of stuff, there's lots of stuff that's just so bad about the movie just because, the writing and the acting. But were there some good things? Yeah. Obviously, yeah, there is. The effects are cool. Obviously, because, CGI looks fine, I guess. And, some of the actors were good. The action scenes were kind of cool, and then the end, it kind of got exhilarating. And it's kind of colorful, I guess. Because, some of the machine guns that the gangsters have are all pink and yellow and such. I guess that's cool. And the ending was kind of interesting, but a little bit stupid, too. So, yeah, this movie doesn't suck. It's not terrible, but it's just a plain disappointment. And that's just all I have to say for this movie. It's a complete disappointment. So yeah, overall, this movie has terrible writing, bad acting from some of the actors, and it just completely gives the wrong message. And so yeah, if some of you guys are interested to see this movie, don't really spend your money on this one. Or at least, well, it's not in theaters anymore, no doubt. Renting it's fine. You can just rent it, but I really did not care for it. It could have been a lot better, but they just kind of took it the wrong way. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to give Chappie a D. Yeah, disappointing. So, my also question today is, what is your favorite Neil Blomkamp movie? Comment down below. Check out my other videos. They're really cool. Like to subscribe. Like my page on Facebook. See ya.